What is going on out there, and welcome back to another installment into the extraordinary life of Emon. I am your host and we are back. Today we're going to go ahead and switch gears. We're going to talk about another law enforcement story that I have for you guys. This one is different. This is one that I investigated to completion and did get a successful conviction on. But before we jump into that, if you guys can, do me that favor, like the video down below, leave me a wonderful comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you are new here, I have said it before and I'll probably say it again in the future. I am in law enforcement. I wake up, I put my gear on, I get out there and I protect and serve. I have worked a lot of different cases. I've convicted people, I've arrested tons of people, I've given traffic tickets, I've run, jumped, fought, all of that wonderful good stuff. Today I selected this case specifically because this is actually one that was unique, because if this person did it right, they actually could have got away with it. But unfortunately, they didn't do it right, and I was able to pick up the trail and was able to eventually put this person away. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and start at the beginning. Let's reverse time a little bit. While I was on patrol, I received a call for service in reference to a potential embezzlement incident. I made contact with the owner. We're gonna call her Dr. T. She owned a medical center, and according to Dr. T, one of her employees had recently quit out of the blue and had locked everybody out of the system, out of their business accounts, and refused to provide any kind of login information after she left to try to mitigate the issue. This is already red flag, and Dr. T did very well to contact law enforcement in reference to this. Dr. T did provide crucial and critical information to law enforcement. To me, she was able to identify the employee, who we're going to go ahead and call Foxy, and she was able to confirm that Foxy was her second in command while running the medical center. I say this because Foxy actually had administrative rights when it came to their IT protocols. When it came to their business accounts, she had admin rights. She could change things, she could move things because of her position. She managed the money. She watched the money, she had access to the account, and she was basically the one to make sure that the business was getting paid for the services rendered at the medical center. So obviously she would need access to the account. She also maintained the ledgers, so it was fair to say Foxy knew the system. Now, Dr. T was no slouch. She ran her business pretty much like a tight ship, so I really do appreciate her opening up to us about what happened. When Foxy left, she immediately recognized that something wasn't right. One, it was out of the blue. It wasn't a 2-week notice or anything like that. No, she just left. I quit and walked out of the front door and was gone. Dr. T realized that when Foxy left, there were a lot of accounts that were designated as delinquent in their system. She had access, she still could see into the system, she just couldn't get into the business accounts with the money. She recognized that these accounts had been marked as delinquent. These patients who have come in numerous times, who have been associated with the medical center, are now delinquent on their payments. So a lot of the patients started to complain to her that they had paid their co-pays, that their insurance had paid their premiums and had paid the cost for services rendered at the medical center, and now they're being deemed as delinquent and they're starting to get calls from collection agencies, etc. This is actually what started all of this. This is what started me on the path that something is illegal and something's going on here, and something went down that it shouldn't went down. Dr. T was on the same wavelength. She actually contacted the insurance company and they verified that they sent the money to their clearinghouse, and the clearinghouse sent the money to their business account. It was sent electronically, and all the patients should not be delinquent because their account had been paid in full. So basically, where's the money? Where did the money go? Dr. T and I worked tirelessly throughout this investigation. We did an internal audit of all of her accounts, all of her systems, all of her records, and we were able to determine that money was missing. Specifically, about $70,000 was missing. At this point, honestly, in my mind, I knew somebody stole something. Side note, just in case you guys don't really know, for this investigation, I'm gonna go ahead and fill you in on a little bit of background information. The insurance company doesn't actually pay right then and there. They pay what's called a clearinghouse service, and they are actually the ones who deal with the actual medical offices and whatnot and release the funds to them. It makes it easier on the insurance company because all they have to record is when, where, how they paid the clearinghouse instead of having to document and track all the different medical associations and centers that they have to deal with. So they just go through the clearinghouse and send the money. That's how everything gets paid. It takes about a month or two for the medical officers to get paid, but keep that in mind because we're gonna need it moving forward. Back to the story. I was actually able to make contact with the primary clearinghouse service that did business with Dr. T and her medical center. They were actually very cooperative, and they didn't really have to, but they were spun up, so they were waiting for me to reach out, and they were willing to send me all the information that I need. They were willing to give me access to their system so that I could actually take a deep dive and figure out what exactly happened here. Based on the cooperation from the clearinghouse, I was able to figure out when they sent the money, where they sent the money, how much they sent, on what days, etc., etc., and how much in total they had sent, which was equivalent to approximately $70,000. Additionally, they supplied me with a bank account, a banking institution, and a routing number associated with the account that received the money. So, based off that, I actually crossed that information with the payroll services department associated with Dr. T's medical center. I did that because there's a two-pronged attack here. For one, I already had a suspicion that Foxy had something to do with this, but also I wanted to clear all the other people involved as well. Surprise, surprise, I had a match. It was Foxy. At that point, I now can say I have probable cause to believe that Foxy stole this money. This is the beginning of the end for Foxy. She just doesn't know it yet. This also grants me access to a lot of different means in order to figure this out. But before I actually move in any kind of way forward, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. This one's already getting kind of long and I don't want it to be that long. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. So stand by until part 2 to figure out exactly what happened and how it all played out. If you haven't already, do me that favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a wonderful comment down below, speculate on what exactly happened. Let me hear it down below. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this. This has been another installment into the extraordinary life of Emon. I've been your host and I'll see you on part 2.